Hi, and thanks for joining us again. My name is Eric Gadd. I'm with the Elite team, and today we're here with
Mark Ditkof.
Wonderful. So, Mark, tell us a little about your journey into real estate and where you're at and where you're going.
Yeah, so I started real estate in 2016. I was actually getting my license so that we could compensate for the income that we were going to lose because we were going to have our first baby, and we wanted my wife to stay home. And so my whole goal really was, after running numbers and everything, if I could close 4 houses a year, it would pay for the health insurance we were going to lose basically from her job. And I was actually teaching math at East High School at that time, and so I had to be able to kind of balance both things. And so at that time, my first year I ended up selling way more than the 4 houses I needed, and then kind of started transitioning through. And so I don't teach anymore, and I closed like maybe 50, 45 deals last year. And
wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, just kind of keeping the train moving, and it's been a lot of fun.
Good, wonderful. So what is it about you that makes you unique from other agents around town?
So I'm super energetic. I love what I do, which a lot of agents love what they do. We're in a great career. I love numbers, and I think that's one of the biggest things that sets me apart is I have a math degree. I taught math for 7 years. I taught finance for 7 years, and so that's a lot of my skill set that I can bring into this, was helping people with credit and loans and what mortgages do, and kind of that aspect of it that I think a lot of other agents, a lot of other people are just scared of numbers, and I love every aspect of it. So
yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure the teaching the financial portion is a big help with your clients then.
Yeah. There's a lot of first-time home buyers that I work with because it's a lot of my former students and their friends that are coming in, and so I can help them set up to make sure, okay, have we established credit yet? What does our budget actually look like? Yes, you're pre-approved for $1,500 a month, but is that really the best option for you? And in those conversations.
Right, and so leading them into the best decision for their budget and family as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of touched on it. You were teaching, and then you were getting into real estate. So how was that transition in moving from teaching to real estate full time?
Yeah, so I never considered myself a part-time agent. A lot of people do if you have 2 jobs. I always said I just had 2 full-time jobs because I put probably more hours into real estate than I did into teaching sometimes.
Right, yeah.
Especially during the summer and those kind of things. So yeah, I taught for 3 years, and then I got into real estate, and I double dipped for 4 years, and it was hard. I mean, I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning, went to bed at 10 or 10:30 every single night, and it was work every hour in between.
Right.
The biggest thing for me is my transition was made is when I realized that I never saw my family anymore. I actually put my son to bed one night on a Sunday evening, and then I didn't see him again until Thursday evening when I got back from work, and he had about an hour before he went to bed. And so I went from Sunday evening until Thursday without even seeing him, and I said, like, this isn't going to work. And so I started having those conversations with my wife about potentially leaving teaching and just doing real estate on its own. And it honestly, I stepped down from teaching in January of 2020 is when I gave my notice. And we all know what happened. 2 months later, the world shut down. Yeah. And so we had more conversations then as, oh no, what's going to happen with the real estate market? All realtors did, in terms of what's going to happen to the market. Are we going to even have jobs in the next year? And obviously the housing market boomed, so that wasn't too big of an issue. But I don't regret it by any means, and I love the fact that I can. It's not that I work less hours now, it's I have more flexible hours. Right? Yeah. It's like I take certain days off that other people don't have that opportunity to, that are doing a 9 to 5.
Right, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure then with the conversation with your wife and being not seeing your kid for 3 or 4 days, it probably made it a pretty easy decision then to be able to spend time with the family.
It was an easier decision when those kind of things were happening. However, at the same time, it's real estate, especially at the beginning, those first few years, it's not consistent income. It takes a while to really build your database up and your system up so that you can know that paychecks are going to be coming in kind of consistently and your bills will be paid. And so that was a bit of a concern we had. But at the end of the day, teaching was pennies. It didn't even really pay the bills. So I was spending 36 hours a week at a job that didn't really even do what we needed it to.
Right. Now, so it's interesting because you weren't in teaching, you taught math, and Keller Williams is big in education. They've been, I believe, named number 1 3 or 4 times through all industries in their education. Can you explain what that kind of means to you, of moving from education into a company that's really big on education?
It is amazing at Keller Williams. Honestly, I have never felt so supported in an industry, especially coming from teaching, where teachers are a lot of times the bad guys in the situation, and that we're always doing things wrong, which is why the test scores are low, whatever. It is the opposite in real estate, especially at Keller Williams. If I have questions on something, somebody has answers, or they put a class together to help people out when it's kind of a bigger topic. There's all the veteran agents in the brokerage are consistently putting on classes to help out a lot of the newer agents, teaching them everything from really like, what do you do in the first few weeks of getting your license, all the way up to, you've been in the industry 15 years, what now? And there's something for everybody, and it's just a really, really good cultural atmosphere.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what would you tell someone that's brand new into getting into the business, something that you wish you had known when you first started?
Yeah. So because I was that teaching background, I still love mentoring and teaching, and I actually have a lot of newer agents that I work with to make sure that they're getting their systems in place early, because I didn't have that.
Right.
Especially having a dual career at the time, I didn't have time to do a lot of the extra stuff that I encourage people to do. There's 3 things I always tell people to do right away because I didn't get the opportunity to. Number 1 is tell everyone. Tell absolutely. I mean, your dentist buys houses, your carpet cleaner buys houses, all those people, they buy and sell, and literally tell everyone. I actually had it where I told my family that I got my license, and all my friends and family after I got my license. And a good friend of mine was like, "Oh, I just went under contract. I easily would have waited for you, but you didn't tell me." And I was like,
Yeah.
"You're right, I didn't," and that was on me. So I tell everybody, the moment you start classes, even tell everyone, everyone you know. The second thing is put that database together. Start making that database early, because again, I waited until I had my license, and then it was, well, I'm trying to do all these other things now and put this database together. But get the names, emails, phone numbers, reach out to everybody, so that you have that system from the beginning, and then start expanding your social media presence. That was the third thing. Is I didn't do that very quickly, and right now that's my biggest source of income, is really coming from social media. And if I had started it was probably about a year in before I really started trying hard on social media. If I had another year under me, I could only just imagine what I'd be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, so as a real estate agent, we don't really have a retirement plan or 401k, but Keller Williams does offer profit share.
Right.
Are you involved with profit share? And
just since it was January, February this year, somebody entered my downline.
Oh, wonderful.
Was never purposeful about it. Never really bought into it, thought about it. It was just kind of one of those, if it happens, cool.
Yeah.
It was actually a friend of mine that's with our brokerage now, that he was an investor. And super intuitive kid, really, really smart, knows his numbers. And so I told him, I said, dude, I'm happy to help you buy rentals in town, but really, if you go get your license, like, you could do this a lot quicker and cheaper than if you just have to use me constantly.
Right.
And so 6 weeks later, he was licensed. And we still talk all the time. We're good friends. And then since then, I think I've got 4 or 5 people in my downline. It's just natural. I never go recruit people actively. It's just if people want to have those conversations, I like teaching, I like mentoring, and I want to be there to help people. So
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, retirement-wise, profit share is definitely something that I have now, and hopefully forever will have, that kind of takes that burden off as we get later.
Right. And so, speaking on retirement, is there anything else that you do, to kind of prepare for retirement other than profit sharing?
Right. Yeah. Rental properties. A lot of agents get into rental properties because we have access to see kind of what the opportunities are. I work with investors, and then I've had investors kind of teach me the ways of how to know if it's a good deal or not. And so I have 2 rentals right now, and our goal is probably to end up with 4 or 5 rentals in the end. I don't want to get huge like a lot of people do. It's just enough to manage on my own, but as I get later in life, hire a property management company and let them take it over, let me go travel or something like that. And then we've got, I got like SEP IRA and basic stuff like that. But really, the rentals and the profit share is what I'm going for, is to be the bulk of my retirement options.
Right. Wonderful. And I think that's, again, like you said, a lot of agents, we know real estate, we know investment properties, so it's familiar to us, so it's kind of an easy way to lead right into.
Yeah, we invest in what we're comfortable with.
Exactly.
And I actually had somebody ask me about stocks a couple weeks ago, and I said, I'm not the guy to ask. I said, I'm not comfortable with them. I don't know about them. I said, I know some people that is their game. They'll never touch a rental property, but they'll be in the stock market all day long.
Yeah.
Not for me. And I don't expect myself to ever really get heavily into that. It's real estate's comfortable. I understand it. So that's where we're
it's your lane you like to stay in, and
it's safe, and I'm a safe guy like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're experienced in that. You're the expert in that area.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Well, we appreciate you coming in today. Thank you so much. Any closing talk to let everybody know?
Yeah. Love what I do. If you guys ever thinking about getting into real estate, again, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I just enjoy what I do, and I know Eric really likes what he does, and Keller Williams is truly just an open book for anybody that wants to come see what we're about, the culture, the the joy that everybody has to work together. It's a good place to be if you're thinking about brokerages. So
wonderful. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. Make sure to visit us again. We're posting these, so jump on there, like, subscribe, whatever you need to do. So we'd love to talk to you about all the agents in the office. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
See you guys.